Welcome to the Line Life podcast. I'm Jeff Postlethwaite, Senior Editor of T&D World, and today we're bringing you more stories of the grit, courage, and inspirational teamwork that it takes to be a line worker.
Hi, my name is Amy Fishbach, Field Editor for T&D World magazine and host of the Line Life podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we begin our episode today, I invite you to listen and subscribe to the Line Life podcast at linelife.podbean.com or in your favorite podcasting app. I release new episodes every Friday with interview-style episodes the first and third Fridays of each month and audio stories narrated from T&D World's print magazine on the second and fourth Fridays of each month. If you have a suggestion for a guest for a future Line Life podcast episode, make sure you reach out to me at euoeditor@endeavorb2b.com. Now we'll move on to today's episode, which is part of our Faces of the Future series. I started this series over a year ago to highlight the up-and-comers in the line trade. And today we're featuring Vincent, or Vinny, Napolitano, apprentice for Ameren Illinois. I met Vincent at the 2024 International Linemen's Expo, and I also profiled him in our June 2025 Faces of the Future department in our print magazine. If you'd like to become part of this series in the future, be sure to email me or reach out to me on social media, or you can stop by and see me at the T&D World booth at the 2025 International Expo during the International Lineman's Rodeo Week this October in Kansas City. I look forward to meeting you there. Now let's listen in on my conversation with Vinny from the 2024 International Lineman's Expo. Vincent, thank you for joining us today. First of all, can you talk about where you were born and raised and how you got interested in a career in the line trade?
Yeah, so I was born in Long Island, New York. Spent the first 19, 20 years of my life in there. And then relocated with family. I got into the trade because my father was a cable splicer for Con Edison in Manhattan.
Okay.
Most of my life. That happened and did a little community college. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life and kind of took interest in the utility side of things from him. And then I had an uncle that was a lineman as well. So moved out to Illinois with family and kind of went that route.
So what are some stories that you heard growing up around the line trade? I'm sure you heard a lot of stories.
He would always tell me stories about splicing, and he was a big part of like the 9/11 restoration and stuff like that, laying, heavy cable on the streets and stuff and heating it up just to get people back in power. And they were working on it for like 8-9 months, So stuff like that. And then he did a few hurricanes and stuff like that. But I really didn't peak interest in it until like about after high school, but I kind of fell in love with it.
How did you learn that there were opportunities to work as an apprentice in the line trade?
My uncle was probably my biggest push, saying, hey, do this. You'll have fun.
That's great. And Vinny, you're in the third year of your apprenticeship. Did you start out as a groundman or did you go straight into an apprenticeship?
No, I started the apprenticeship in 2018 and I was actually kind of struggling in it. So I failed out of my first apprenticeship, took a little time off to learn a little bit more about it and then got back into it. So now I'm a little bit more older and have a little bit better grasp on things. And yeah, it's been going a lot better.
So talk about what a day in the life is like for you right now as a third step apprentice.
Right now I got a few guys under me, so, you're learning every day still, but you're also trying to teach the next generation coming up. So, I help people learn how to climb and stuff like that, and then there's some other apprentices on the crew with me, so, what I know, I help them with as well, but, nobody knows everything, so you gotta kind of take every day and learn what you can.
And then what about the training center? Can you talk about how the training program is set up? For example, are you doing a lot of work out in the field or do you do work both in the classroom and in the field?
Yeah, so we do classroom and field, and it's like about every 6 months we go to school. We have a pretty good transformer program, so we can, learn all the ins and outs of that. But most of it is field work, and most of your learning is overtime, taking call-outs, stuff like that. So
where are you stationed then in this service territory for Ameren, Illinois?
I'm located in Peoria, Illinois.
And then what kind of work are you doing out in the field in Peoria, Illinois? Do you have any major construction projects you're working on right now?
Not really. Peoria is one of the busier areas in Illinois, so we're doing customer jobs, putting out fires here and there, but we do a lot of overhead and underground, mainly just distribution stuff. We don't really dip that much into transmission work where we're at, but we stay busy enough doing that.
And then now let's talk about storms, because I'm here in Kansas City, but I know Illinois gets their share of storms too. So have you had to work those yet? And what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, we have. We're kind of a short-handed shop, but we're pretty busy, so we're doing a lot of troubleshooting when those come in, and then we got other resources come in and help out. I've had a few, but never really left the area because, like I said, I mean, we can just kind of stay in our backyard and it's busy enough. It's been good. It's been fun. Learned a lot.
So have you thought about helping out with any mutual aid calls when you top out as a journeyman?
I think that would be fun. It just depends on where life takes me at that point,
Right.
as far as like family and stuff like that goes. But yeah, I think that would be a cool thing, cool experience, kind of venture out.
And then now let's talk about International Lineman's Rodeo Week. Are you competing out here this year?
Yeah, I am competing.
So how did you get prepared? I know this afternoon you had a written test, and is that the hardest part of the whole thing, the test, or is it more competing out there?
Well, it's the nerves of competing. It's a hard test. I mean, the average score last year was like a 50 or something like that. I'm not really sure, but it is kind of a hard test. But at the training center, they set up a little thing for us where we could go in and take some practice tests and stuff like that. But a lot of the questions is not kind of like relevant to our daily work, so that's why it's a little difficult. But the competing side of things, we had practices probably a few days a month for the past 3-4 months trying to work on some stuff, and we're doing it alongside the journeymen too, who are kind of running it. So that's pretty cool because we get to see them and we get good feedback from them and stuff, and they've been pretty supportive for us. So yeah, it's been good.
And then what have you learned from the journeyman about how to compete at the rodeo?
It doesn't matter, because one little thing can go wrong and all that practice is for nothing. So just kind of go out there and have fun is really what it is.
And then, Vinny, can you talk about your plans at Ameren Illinois? Are you looking to stay out in the field, or one day do you want to move into management?
Oh, no. I would love to stay in the field. It is one of the most rewarding things ever, and I just love it every day. So, and the guys are great that I work with right now. I mean, everything's just cool. It's like a family.
So how does your uncle feel about you being a lineman right now?
He doesn't really talk to me anymore, but he's cool with it. I have to go visit him. He's in the Carolinas, so.
What is your advice to others who are looking to get into an apprenticeship in the line trade?
Just be humble, take every bit of advice that you can, and never say you can't do something, and never be a know-it-all. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to learn, and if you stop learning, then you're doing something wrong, so.
Perfect. And I know you probably work long days out in the field, but when you aren't doing line work, what do you like to do in your free time?
I tinker around. I like to build things, cabinet making, stuff like that. I'm working on my house right now, so I like to, just kind of crafty,
That's great. And then who do you have here with you for International Lineman's Rodeo Week?
This is my girlfriend.
Wonderful. Let's give a shout out to her.
Shout out to Katie.
Do you want to give a shout out to anyone else on your crew on this Line Life podcast episode?
No, shout out to Peoria, man. Yep.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our Line Life podcast listeners?
No, it's been fun.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the Line Life podcast, Vincent. We loved having you on our show.
Thank you.
To learn more about Vincent, make sure you check out the June 2025 issue of T&D World magazine and flip to the Faces of the Future department. And if you know of an apprentice line worker who we should profile in a future issue, we'd love to hear about it. You can email me at euoeditor@endeavorb2b.com, or you can reach out to me on social media, including Lineman World on Instagram and EUO Editor on X and Amy Fishbach on LinkedIn. I look forward to hearing from you with your nominations for Faces of the Future. And all apprentice line workers who are featured in this department receive a free tool package from Milwaukee Tool for their dedication to the line trade. Please reach out to me and we'll put your apprentice in the spotlight. Thank you for listening to the Line Life Podcast.
This episode of the Line Life Podcast was written, recorded, and edited by Amy Fishbach. It was produced by Jeff Postlewaite. That's me. To listen to past episodes, visit www.tdworld.com/podcasts or find us at Podbean. You can also drop us a voice memo or message at linelifepodcast@gmail.com with your comments on this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Please follow this show on Podbean or your favorite podcasting app to be updated when new episodes are released. Thank you for listening.